reminder to us this morning to understand that even though there are certain situations in our life that may seem to present itself difficult, we can understand that God never leaves us or forsakes us. And maybe you're here this morning and you say, well, Pastor, I feel very alone at the moment. I always heard my father say that sometimes God is silent, but it doesn't mean He's left you alone. And something we can think about today. In difficult times, in times of hardships, sa gitna po ng pagsubok, sa gitna po ng hirap minsan, madali natin makita, when we focus really inwardly, we begin to really look at ourselves and sort of have a personal, private pity party. Alam mo yun? Kawawa naman ako, kind of moment. I think all of us get to that point every once in a while. Yung bakit naman ganito, ang hirap ng buhay, ganito. And it pays us to look at, and we should look at things and understand. We always say that, you hate hearing this when I've been in situations where you're in a difficult moment and somebody carelessly throws a verse at you. Alam mo yun? When they use Romans 8:28 for you, gusto mo suntukin eh. Di ba? Parang, ang kulit mo ah. Huwag ngayon. I remember when my sister was dying in the hospital about 30 years ago, and she was being revived, and in the States it was called Code Blue or Code 99. And she was being revived for like the third or fourth time, and she had been in the hospital for about approximately 40 days by that time, in the ICU. And habang nire-revive yung kapatid ko, my father brings us all together and to pray as a family. It so happened there were other church members there. We were in the States then, and habang nakahabol kami in prayer, and this is Christmas Day. What a terrible time to be reviving someone at Christmas Day. And someone turns to my dad. Now my dad is a bulwark of stability. Itong taong ito, hindi mo siya basta-basta kayang tinagin. He might be broken down in the inside, but the face will never show it. Okay, my dad has the best poker faces I've ever seen in my life. I hope to inherit that someday. I have a little bit of it, but not in as much. Pero grabe yung mukha niya, hindi mo talaga siya magtinan. And for the first time in my life, I saw my dad at yung mukha niya, natinag siya. He was broken, he was in a terrible situation, and so were we. And the worst thing you need to have in that point in time is someone carelessly taking a Bible verse and using it for you in the hopes of encouraging you, pero mali yung gamit, di ba? And so after we prayed, we were all crying, and we don't know if she would live or die. Of course, all of us know now. It's been, 31 years? How about it? Am I right? 31 years since that time that she survived. After 72 days in the ICU and 103 total days, 145 days in the hospital. She survived, obviously. Pero looking at it, someone, after we prayed and we're all crying, some lady that we don't really know very well, lumapit sa tatay ko, tapos sabi niya, it's okay, Dr. Tika. Sabi niya, Romans 8:28. All things work together for good. Yung mukha ng tatay ko, my father's eyes became, it's one of those, don't make me angry. You won't like me. One of those deals. Mali yung gamit, no? And here you are, and the guy has been in the ICU, walang umiyan. Siya ay nagliligo-uwak sa banyo, doon sa Georgia Baptist Medical Center. Hilamos toothbrush lang, basically, an occasional wipe of deodorant and towel down from November 15 to December 25. Okay? Walang uwi to. Hindi siya umuwi. Nandun lang siya sa isang sulok doon. Ginawa niyang bahay. He made the corner of the house, of the waiting room was his personal house. And somebody comes up and says, it's okay, Dr. Tika, Romans 8:28. Yung anong tatay was, suddenly just beamed at her, and I put my arm around my dad, and it's that more likely a sign that says, Dad, magbubakan mo, naman yung ate. Kasi, bakit mo sinabi yung pastor? Kasi gusto kong i-check para sa labas ng building, and says that carelessly. And she says, Romans 8:28, all things work together for good. And as awesome as that verse is, that's the wrong time to use it. Amen? And my father says to her, still in control, pero medyo matalino na, sabi ng tatay ko sa kanya, lady, now my father is serious already when she calls you lady. Napaka-gentleman kasi nun. When a gentleman calls you lady, he doesn't mean it. May isang sabi natin ko, lady, I would like you to quote that verse. Next time, if your daughter is dying. Other than that, just be quiet. Ang bait niya, no? Grabe. No? Kung ako yun, diyan ka lang. Uwalugin pa rin ko. Grabe, no? Brutal, no? But, yeah. But in hard times, when we go through hardship, pag dumadaan tayo sa hardship and things are unthinkable, you mean to tell me, Pastor, that God can use my unthinkable moment, my moment of intense and great suffering, my moment of loss, yung gitna ng kawalan, yung kalungkutan, and the like. You mean God can use that as an open door? You mean God can actually use what I'm going through, and I'm still supposed to be sensitive to what God wants me to say and do? Humans like us, we're like cats, Pag nasugatan tayo, we lick our wounds. You mean, Pastor, that's what I'm supposed to be. Even in the midst of my hardship, sa gitna ng hirap, ng disappointment, ng losses, I'm still supposed to look to God and say, God, is this an open door for me? And my answer, of course, as you expect, is yes. But the real question is not why. No, it's not whether I should or should not, dapat ba o hindi dapat, but rather, bakit? And the answer to that lies in two ways. And today we're going to look at those. So to understand God's purposes, and even in the midst of a great hardship, I want to draw a sort of parallel from the outset between two churches. Yung isa sa Church of Corinth, and then yung isa sa Church of Macedonia. The letter of Apostle Paul, the epistle of Paul, the Church of Corinth, we'll find here that's the base verse. We'll find in 2 Corinthians chapter 8, verse 1 to 8. 2 Corinthians chapter 8, verse 1 to 8. I'm reading from the NLT, and you can follow along. It's behind me. This is Apostle Paul writing to the Corinthian church. Before we go there, the Corinthian church was a church that was called the carnal church. In Tagalog, Mahamundo. No? Mas mahalaga sa kanila ang ritual. Ang pinag-aawayan nila sa church, kung nasunod ba yung mga ritual. No? But we know from reading where we are, from the initial verses, that that's not the heart of God. The heart of God is for us to go into all the world and accomplish His task. Sabi niya. In fact, the verse I have there, in the text there in Mark, sabi niya, Jesus agrees the disciples with Him, and he says this, sabi niya, church, sabi niya, disciples, look at that. Sabi niya, the fields are white to harvest. Ready na sila. Sabi niya, I pray that the Lord of the harvest will send laborers to fulfill the harvest. mind when it comes to the church is always outward. Always outward. Puro palabas. Okay? Puro palabas. I'm not saying don't make the building nice. We praise the Lord for a nice building. I'm not saying don't use technology. You won't believe how many people, we've got 3 cameras set up already on the video. How many people watch the streams? I get that. But ang plano ng Panginoon sa Kristiyano, puro palabas. No? Hindi puro paloob. Sa gitna pala ng pagsubok, palabas pa rin ang plano ng Panginoon. The church of Corinth was carnal. No? Kasi they did whatever they want and basta masaya sila. Basta nakuha yung gusto nila. Basta na-fulfill yung demands of the law. Basta na-fulfill yung usap-usapan, yung requirement. Tama ba yung kinakain mo? Tama ba yung damit mo? Nagawa mo ba ito? They were in a Gentile city and they were requiring circumcision. Can you imagine? That's what they did. They forced their Judaism into Christianity. So the church of Corinth was very carnal. In fact, Apostle Paul, disciplined church members from the church of Corinth. They had deacons and elders, in the church, leadership in the church, who were very immoral. They were living incestuously. They were practicing pedophilia. That's just the minimum. Grabe, and they were in church. I know what some of you are saying, all of you na nasakta na sa church, na na-disappoint na sa church. And I know what you're going to say. Talaga yung simbahan, puro hipokrito talaga yung mga yan eh. Puro hipokrito yan eh. Yun naman mga relihiyoso sasabihin, huwag naman ganyan, tao lang. Well, you know what? Parehong statements are true. Church are filled with hypocrites. Why? Well, we say we love God, but see, God is only served and His purposes are only done pag convenient tayo. O, hypocrites ka. Tama? Magsaserve lang ako pag may extra time, magbibigay ako ng extra money, mag-minister ako to others when I can. Eh, di ba hypocrites ka? So, huwag tayo maging sobrang sensitive church. The church is guilty of hypocrisy. And if you have been a victim of hypocrisy, and you're an attender or a visitor in church, huwag naman din sa church natin, but if you have been in the past, I apologize for that. And if you've been hurt by a member of this church, acting carelessly, tell me. We'll deal with it. If you know this church, you know we do. Bakit po, ang aming motto sa aming church, pag mahal mo ang tao, makikialam ka. Pakialam meron po akong pastor. Okay? We can't do it if you don't tell us, okay? Why? Because we want to make things right. Because that's what God's design is. But the church of Corinth was like that. Walang ginawa yung church kundi mag-away. The crazy thing about this is that Corinth was a city of economy. It was like New York City or Manila, Makati, Mandaluyong. There was a lot of business going on in the Church of Corinth. In fact, it was primarily built because comfortable magtayo ng church sa Corinth. Kasi maraming tao doon, tapos maraming pera doon. So magtayo tayo ng church doon. That's how it was. It wasn't out of a passion to do something for Jesus. Well, Apostle Paul did, but later on, naging kawalan na yung church. And then Macedonia. Well, Macedonia was established by Philip of Macedon, one of the leaders in Alexander the Great, and he united all of Macedon and Greece, and all of these people pinagsama-sama niya under the power of the iron hand. Well, obviously, history tells us that Philip eventually died, Philip of Macedon. Naitayo niya ang Macedonia, right? But after a while, yung competition between the church, between Corinth and Macedonia became hard. Magkalaban eh. So that's why Apostle Paul was challenging the Corinth church. Why? Kasi si Corinth, yung mayaman. mismo, right? And the church was big, you know, and it was getting influence, and the church of Macedonia was going down hard. And so sabi ng rulers ng Macedon, sabi niya, siguro, susunod na naman tayo. Ang may kasalanan ng mga Christian. Kasi ayaw nilang kumain ng sacrificed food. Ayaw nilang bilihin yung mga pagkain that was given to idols. And Sila may kasalanan kaya bumagsak economy. And so they began to press hard. In the book of Corinthians, in this particular letter, Corinthians chapter, 2 Corinthians chapter 8, in the Greek it says, and they were brought to extreme poverty. I wonder if this church and the people there suffered extreme poverty. We're not just talking about economics here. We're talking about hardship in life. Now, when the word mentioned there is hardship and trials, it was talking about extreme poverty. Ang hindi lang sila impoverished was spiritual poverty. They were sick, hirap lahat sa lahat. But the crazy thing about the church of Macedonia, kaya sila yung focus ko, is that they were called the most effective church. Dalawa sila ng Church of Philippi, but even more so, that's why may mga himnaryo, yung mga tanda na rito. You remember the hymn, Send the Light? Send the light, the blessed gospel light. Yung sa missions yan eh. Sa missions, nagpadala ng maraming ng mga tao sa iba't ibang parte ng mundo. Let it shine from shore to shore, right? The first line of the first stanza says, we have heard the Macedonian call today. Send the light. Ganun katindi yung Church of Macedonia. They were the most effective church when it came to spreading the gospel of Jesus Christ. Paano nangyari? The church with severe trials, great hardships, impoverished. Apostle Paul challenges the mayaman church using the poor church. Sabi niyo sa church na mayaman, away tinamukha ko. Grabe yung ginagawa ng church na to. Look at you guys. Because the book of 1 and 2 Corinthians was a book of addressing a carnal church. Backslider yung mga church. Matalikod. And here he is using the Macedonian church. In 2 Corinthians chapter 8, verse 1 to 8, in the NLT it says, now I want you to know, dear brothers and sisters, what God, in His kindness, has done through the churches of Macedonia. Notice it says, churches. Marami. Sa Corinth, church. Doon pala, alam mo na. They are being tested by many troubles. And they are very poor. But they are also filled with abundant joy, that's overflowed in rich generosity. Sa side note lang, I'll say ko yun ng konti. This is not, I'm not going to challenge you to give in the offering. I don't preach about giving, to increase your giving. Okay? Some of you are hoping for me to one day preach. The finance committee, I'm sure, is hoping that I one day preach about increasing your giving. I don't believe in giving gimmicks. I believe, now you will know where my heart lies. If your heart is given to God, you don't need to be forced to do anything. You know what you're supposed to do. Tama? Ang misis ko, pag gusto niya sa sapatos ko, size 11 na niya. Ang size niya, ano size mo? Sabi niya 7 daw siya, pero palagay ko hindi. Pero sometimes 7, depende. Gusto niya isuot yun. Kung talagang gusto niya, go ahead. It's hers. She's not going to look good, like she normally does, pero kung gusto niya yun, have at it. Have fun with that. Why am I saying that? Because once I'm committed to her, that I love her, then everything that is mine is never in question. If she wants to use it, it's hers. She knows my passwords. She knows everything. kanya lahat. Tama? So hindi ako, huwag na kayo mga anak, preach ako tungkol sa giving. Okay? Now, we launch a program which we will soon about missions, yeah, pero I'm not going to tell you, oh, kasi gato. Because if your heart is fully given to God, hindi na pinag-uusapan niyo. Nothing you don't talk about it anymore. Now again, verse 2. And they were tested by many troubles, all day they were very poor. But they were also filled with joy. Notice the word but. He was trying to make a comparison. Sabi niya, basically, sinasabi niya sa Church of Corinth, oh, mahirap sila, pero hindi sila kapares nyo. Miserable. Very poor. Filled with abundant joy. It overflowed with generosity. For I can testify that they gave not only what they could afford, but far more. And they did it for their own free will. Walang pilitan. Verse 4. And they begged us again and again for the privilege of sharing the gift for the believers in Jerusalem. Kasi merong tragedy sa Jerusalem. No? So itong church na mahirap, na halos pulube, nagmakaawa kay Apostle Paul. Gusto namin tulungan yung mga kapatid namin sa Jerusalem. We want to help them. And it blows the mind of Apostle Paul. Parang talaga, wala na kayo makain. But no, we want to help Jerusalem. Jerusalem is in the capital. And they begged. And it blew the mind of Apostle Paul. They begged us again and again for the privilege of sharing the gift for the believers of Jerusalem. And they did more than what we had hoped for. For their first action, this is the heart, for their first action was to give themselves to the Lord, to us, as God wanted them to do. So we have urged Titus to encourage your giving in the first place, to return to you and encourage you to finish this ministry of giving, since you excel in so many ways. Notice how the Apostle Paul says, there's a letter to the Corinth, since you excel in so many ways, in your faith, your gifted speakers, your knowledge, your enthusiasm, and your love from us, I want you to encourage, to excel in the gracious act of giving. It wasn't just about money. I am not commanding you to do this, but I am testing how genuine your love is by comparing it to the eagerness of the other churches. Today, testingin ko din tayo. How great is your love for God? Not by telling you to love God greatly, kasi I can't make you do that. Hindi ko kayo pwede sabihin, mahal mo ang Panginoon, unahin mo siya. I can't really say that to you kasi those are just empty words. But I want to test you this morning. Because I've tested myself and asked myself, Lord, am I like that? Is IBC like that? This is a generous church, I know that. This is a very loving church, I know that. This is a very warm church in this church. Lalo kanina kasi namatay mga aircon. Diba sa inyo, nag-pray na for trials, Lord, grabe naman pagsubok na to. Walang aircon. You should be here. 15 years ago, we didn't have it. When you have to hear beyond the big electric fans na parang kasalaki ng aeroplano na nakakabit dyan sa mataas pa yung ceiling, and you can't hear me kasi yung gano'n, yeah. Basta inyo nag-isip ka agad nung namatay yung ano kaya kumakang si pero hindi kahalata na nalilitan ako yung walang sinta. Sinabihan mo na sa mo, babe, pagsiyan ka, tapos hintayin mo ako sa parking lot. Mag-grab ka na. Sabi mo maghintay sa gate. I was at home when everything shut down. I was like, oh boy, here we go. Ang mga Kristiyano naman din ay asin. Di ba? You are the salt of the earth. So natutulong kayo pag masyadong basa o masyadong tuyo. Ano na yun? You are the salt. I want to test us today. In James chapter 1, verse 1 and 2, Paul writes, James writes, and he says this, sabi niya, "Brethren, consider it a source of abundant joy when you encounter great trials." Possible pala yun? Pastor, you need to tell me, possible that God can use my trials to be an open door to somebody else? Yes. Pastor, possible pala that God can use my hardship so that I would serve someone else? Yes. Pastor, possible pala that God can use yung pinagdadaanan ko para makatulong sa ibang tao? Opo, possible pala. Pastor, possible pala for me to experience incredible joy and in great generosity, help someone pag dumadaan ako sa pagsubok. How did the church of Macedonia deal with that? Well, the first thing that they did, it's only two. And at first, you'll find us in verses 1 to 4. And that is that they saw beyond their own need. Notice what it says. Let's go back to to verse 1 to 4. Okay? Verse 1 to 4 puts it this way. Now, I want you to know, dear brothers and sisters, what God in His kindness has done to the churches of Macedonia. They are being tested by many troubles. They are very poor. They were filled with abundant joy. Verse 4, they begged us again and again for the privilege of sharing to the gift of believers in Jerusalem. They literally saw beyond lagpas. Let me give you a visual, okay? Give you a visual. Pastor Paul, ano yung sa sapatos mo? Pakinggan nga sa talit. Itali ba yan? Okay. Saan ako? Ano yung sapatos mo? Pwede yan. Ganyan. Paano po, how is it possible that the church, that the Christian, experiencing great trial, experiencing great trial, how can he see someone else? Kasi they beg God, they beg again and again for the privilege. You see, when your eyes are focused inward, you will never see what God is trying to do outward. Yes? Tama? Pag sa gitna ng pagtangis mo, nakatingin ka lang sa sarili mo, ano ba lang, hindi ako nakuha yung gusto ko, ganito, iyak. Iyak na. Kunyari, how does he, if all he's doing is focusing on himself, looking at himself only, hindi po niya makikita, hindi turo ng Panginoon dun sa labas. You see, there's only one way to do it. Please take off your shoes. Ganyan ka lang utang. Ha? Ang problema ng medyo mo? Kaya Noah at tayo medyas mo eh. Ba't mo kasi ginagamit yung medyas ng busong kapatid mo eh? On preschool yan eh. Sige. There's only one way for him to see. That is for him to step out of his shoes and leave. Yung church ng Macedonia, grabe yung hirap nila. Grabe. If you do a historical background study on the Church of Macedonia, extreme poverty is a nice word to say. But they were being harassed dahil sinisisi sila for the downfall of the economy. They were being broken. They were their jobs taken away, businesses taken away. They were getting beat up. They were the target of the media. Kinakawawa talaga sila. Pastor, you tell me it's like the church. Oh, please. I don't believe the church is being harassed today like before. Okay? Stop that! Alam ko maraming umaaway sa gawain ng Panginoon. I understand that. I get that. Lalo po sa bansa, sa Egypt. Alam mo ba ang spelling ng Egypt? USA. Oh, sa Amerika. Sa Amerika po, tayo sa lupang pangako kumpara sa Amerika. Mga pamangkin ko doon, di makapadala ng Bible sa eskwelahan. Dahil matutrouble sila. No? Nasa public school ka, there are some school districts there na bawal may suot na Christian statements. Verses. Offensive. Okay? Paraling na po, Amerikano kung why people want to raise their family there. Pumunta kayo doon, bakasyon kayo, shopping kayo. We're not even talking about Canada. Canada's messed up in the head. Okay? Pero, okay, kung wala ba sa ganang trip, kung gusto nyo, doon kayo. Okay? Ngayon, but you know what? That's not even persecution. But the church of Macedonia became effective because they got out of their shoes and went into someone else's shoes. Nagsuot po sila ng sapatos. Yumapak sila sa yapa. Dinaanan yung dinaanan. May ibang tao. That's why in our church, we try our best to tell our people, lumabas kayo doon and minister to someone else. Kung pumunta kayo sa Boys Town, kausapin niyo yung mga tao doon, yung mga bata doon, hindi paglibre kayo, kundi gawin niyo. Pumunta kayo dito sa DSWD dito. Si Pastor Eric, tumayo yan bilang magulang ng isang bata sa isang criminal trial. Namin yung minister natin. Kasi walang gusto tumayo kasama ng bata. Gawin niyo lahat ng gusto niyo na kailangan nyo gawin para maabot yung mga tao. Do whatever you can to reach whenever you can reach them. Because we have a short amount of time. Late last night, about 11 o'clock, 12 o'clock at night, I got news. One of the kids that we ministered to went to this church. We helped him get a job. Pero paulit-ulit siya mabalik sa life of crime. Paulit-ulit siya mabalik pag magkaroon ng konting pera. Mabalik sa bisyo. Mabalik sa drugs. Kagabi po, pinatay siya. Naupo dyan sa upo niya. He's not just one of the kids. I have spoken to this kid personally many times. Tried to mentor him. Have a relationship with this kid. In fact, just last month, pinag-usapan lang natin siya ng mga kaibigan niya kasi pinapahanap ko siya. Since Bahagana sa Panginoon came to know the Lord as Savior here in the church, you know, we gave him a job, helped him out. Every time he would advance, he'd fall back. Could not kick the drug habit, got deeper and deeper into crime. Last night, he was shot in the head and killed. Nakailalabas pasok na sa kulungan kasi. Tuloy-tuloy pa rin. There's another kid, I still don't know who he is. Diyan lang sa may Basilan, also last night. Just saw that this morning. Oh, please, this is not a political rant. But get into their shoes. The church is only the church, and the Christian is only the Christian when the church and the Christian becomes like Christ. You know what Jesus did? Naupo siya kasama ng mga manginginom. Naupo siya kasama ng mga nandun. Inako niya. Lahat ang pwede akuhin. Pastor, di ba risky? Bakit? Si Jesus ba hindi nag-risk sa'yo? Siya nga, napatay na sense. Nagtalipuno pa lang ngayon. Tama? Pastor, it's too risky to follow Jesus. Well, Jesus died for you, and you still neglect Him. It wasn't that a risk? I'm not giving you a guilt trip, but look what Paul is saying. Look at your hardship as an open door to help someone else. Even your trials can open a door to fulfill God's word. I want to quote from John Piper, naging famous na sa kanya, don't waste your life. Isang buong series na ngayon. Don't waste your life, don't waste your experience. Dami. Don't waste your sickness. Just don't waste your life. If you spend your life on yourself, sinasayang mo. kahit yung paghihirap mo, pwede gamitin ng Panginoon. Kahit yung hardship mo, pwede gamitin ng Panginoon. Kahit yung disappointment mo, pwede gamitin ng Panginoon. Pastor, hindi mo alam. Kasi I had a terrible family life. You want to know family life? Dalahin kita sa Boy Scout. Dalahin kita sa DSWD. You want to know hard family life? I'll bring you there. You'll see real family life. I have 18 kids right now. 18 boys, di pa kasama girls. 18 boys, hindi pa kasama girls. They're going to be kicked out of Boy Scout. Walang pamilya, walang nanay, walang tatay, walang kahit ano. Ano gagawin, Pastor? Kunin mo lahat? I wish I could. We've been working with these boys since last year. Almost 2 years now. A great many of them have come to know the Lord as Savior. Kasi dapat 18 years old, pero ngayon 16 pa lang, 17. They're going to be taken out and sobrang overcrowded na po sa Boys Town. Hindi pa kasama ang DSW Boys Town na. I'm not able to absorb all of them. I would like to, but I know we can't. So we're trying to team up with ministries, partners like Onesimo Foundation. Try to minister with partners who can take these boys in. Why? Because I don't know. All I know is God has given us a responsibility to respond to them. The next pastor of this church may come from that place. Do you know that? Bakit mo siya, hindi naman siguro, Pastor, talaga? Yung mga tanda dito, the older people here, if someone told you when I was 14 and 12 and 13 years old and 15 years old, tapos may lumapit siya, sinabi, "Uy, pagdating ng bata na yan, ng 14 years old, pag nag-27, 28 yan ang magiging pastor mo." Siguro nag-alis na kayo matagal na. Ako man siguro, umalis na rin. Ako sila meron. I know Angel, I know that. Kaya na ako nag-uso ng Milton dahil sa bad boy. The next pastor of this church may come from those places. We talked to a church, a really big church, and said, pwede ba natin abutin yung Boys Town? Ang sagot ng malaking church, hindi kasi nag-emphasis natin, oh my goodness! Hindi kasi that's not our trust. Really? What's your trust? For crying out loud. I'm not ranting, I'm just telling you. The church saw their hardship as an open door. He didn't have time to lick his wounds. You know what I always say? Huwag kang mag-lick ng sarili mong wounds. Huwag kang maawa sa sarili mo. Huwag mo dila-dilaan yung mga sugat mo. Huwag mo pahinayangan yung mga kawalan mo. Because that's not your job. That's the Holy Spirit's job. If you are broken, let God build you up. If you are messed up, let God clean you up. If you made a mistake, then let God use the mistake. First Lord, by God, you can't fix that on your own. Hindi mo kaya ng fix that. Not even the church can fix your mess. Invest in someone else. They saw beyond their own need. And secondly and last, they focused on Jesus. Notice what it says. And they were able to do this in verse 4 because their first action was to give themselves to the Lord. Alam nyo, impressive to us like Bill Gates, nagbigay ng $1 billion towards the research of dengue and mosquito type, and another $1 billion to research AIDS. Those are all nice. Thank you, Mr. Gates. No? Right? But you know what? It's easy to give $1 billion when you made $50 billion last year. Hindi pa kasama investments. Direct pasok lang yun. I can't even count that much. Thank you, Mr. Gates. Really appreciate it. Sana mag-work talaga. But it's easy to give. 1,000 pesos. It's easy to give 10,000 pesos, easy to give all of that when you have so much influx coming in. Dati may tayo former deacon dito. Natanggal ko tuloy. Sabihin mo naman sa akin, Pastor! Nagbigay na ako ng 70,000 sa offering. Anong tingin mo dyan? Hindi ko naman siya kinakausap, out of the blue. Sabihin mo yun sa akin, say that to me in the front. Daming tao. Why you better? Sabi ko, kapatid, salamat po. The Lord can really use that. But I also know you made 7 million. So, yung kung binibida mo 70,000, kulang po. Dahil dapat ang binigay mo sa church, 700,000 minimum. And I don't believe in 10% tithing. Let me just put that out. The Bible says in the New Testament, give from the abundance of your heart. What you give was an expression of your love for God. So don't tell God, I'll serve God on Sunday. No, serve God any day as the Lord opens the door. Pastor, I can't preach. I didn't tell you to preach. But you know, yung office mate mo who's having a hard time could really use these words. Hey, how can I pray for you? Yung manager mo nangalakna, say to them, Sir, how can I help you? Did you know that's voted as the most powerful word to use on any given day? How can I help you? Mga lalaki, if you say that to your wife, babe, how can I help you? She will pass out. Maghihimata yung asawa mo, babe, how can I help you? Magsakit. Either that or she'll say, bakit ano kailangan mo? Nagtataas ng ipon ulit yung asawa mo. What do you need? Meron kang motive. How do you know? Because my wife says that to me all the time. Babe, how can I help you? Ano kailangan mo? And dami namin anak. The most powerful word people could use every day. You could be a testimony for God if you say that. My boys, I try to teach them. If you see someone carrying a burden, carrying a load, carry it. If you see a lady, may dalang gamit, kargahin nyo. Sa seminary, mandatory yan. Pag nakita kayo, hindi tumutulong, sasabihan ko kayo. We are called princes of God, but not yet on earth. Sa langit pa, ha? Dito, we are called hands and feet of Jesus. Giving is not a sacrifice when you know where it came from and the God who can honor it back. Alam niyo ba yun? Pag naglingkod ka sa Panginoon, hindi yan sacrifice. Hindi po ako naniniwala sa sacrificial giving. Kasi karamihan ng tao alam mo nagbibigay sa sacrificial giving, hindi naman talaga sacrifice. Okay? But giving is not a sacrifice. When you know that it came from God anyway. Yun ang ginawa ng Macedonia Church. God, yung talent ko, yung ability ko, yung properties ko, yung whatever, Panginoon sa'yo naman galing yan eh. So I want to use it to help somebody else. To help Jerusalem. Goodness, ang layo nun! Macedonia to Jerusalem! To help somebody else. When you give your life to the Lord, you are now at a starting point. Ano ba yun? Nag-uumpisa pala. In essence, the word joy, that's why this church was full of joy and abundance. Because they understood what it meant to really serve God. God forbid that we ever become a church that has to every need be met para mapunuan lahat ng kailangan bago tayo maging masaya. May kausap ko isa, sabi niya, a friend of mine, sabi niya, pare, nagkakaroon ako ng suicidal thoughts and I have depression. So I understand where you're coming from. Na-depress ka na ba? Hindi. I understand depression. Okay? I used to treat people with that. But you know what is the greatest? Honestly. If you're in a type of depression today, suicidal thoughts and the like, you know what's the greatest cure for depression? Invest your life on somebody else. Really? Honestly. Pag paubos ka na, isang kape ka na lang, humata ka ng tao, hati kayo sa kape. Mas hati nun, hati kayo. Pero I guarantee you, yung fulfillment na makuha mo, because you serve someone else, hindi pwedeng pantayan yan na kahit anong sweldo kaya mong kuha. There's a thing called contentment. Ano yung contentment? Yung masaya ka kahit saan mangyari. Sabi ni Apostle Paul, no matter what state I'm in, I'm content. There's a thing called contentment na hindi pwedeng ibigay, cannot be given by the world at any point in time. Panginoon lang pwede bigay. Serving others, yun lang. You want to get out of the rut of feeling terrible about yourself and your situation? Stop looking at yourself. Serve someone else. When you see them get up, when you see them move forward, and you're walking them through the process, things will change dramatically for you. Things will change dramatically for you. The problem is we bought into this humanistic psychology, psychobabble. Pastor, why are you talking about psychology? I can talk about that. I came from that field. Okay? So, I have license to do that. You know what the problem is with psychology? It's puro ako. Paano ako makakaget over? Paano ako ganito? Siguro kasalanan ng bata ako. Maybe it was the fault when I was a child. Maybe it's an unfulfilled desire. Or maybe ganito, or maybe ganito, and maybe ganito, and maybe ganito. You want to get out of that situation? Get out. Invest your life in somebody else. An old acronym from way back in the 50s took the word joy, not happiness. Kasi yung happiness is based on a happening. Tama? So they took the word joy. So matatanda na, you know this halos palasak na tayo. If you want to experience that true joy, it starts with an acronym with J. Okay? Let's put that up there so you'll know. You want to have real joy? Promise! Do this experiment tomorrow. Sorry. My bad. Mamaya, get out of the church. I promise you do this. If you are depressed, if you're feeling terrible, if you don't like the situation, I promise you things will turn around instantaneously. Do it this way. The word acronym of joy is actually said in this manner. J is for Jesus first. Unahin mo, Panginoon. God, what do you want me to do? How can I help somebody else? How can I serve you? Una si Lord. Kung sa inyo, pag po ng facelift, binigay niyo lahat kay Henry C. Tapos, pagdating alas 10 na gabi, you go home, you look at your sweldo and you say, where did everything go? Go back to Mega Mall, it's there. You left it there. But you can't get it back anymore. What did you do? You spent it on something that you don't need. With money you don't have. To impress people you don't like. That's what you did. My father loves to say that. Jesus first. Oh, others second. Others second. Others second. Bago ikaw, di ba? Others second. I'm not saying this because my wife was here on the birthday niya this past week. Ang haba ng celebration birthday niya kagabi. You know, and even today, you know, size 11 and a half po, ako pala yung talaga. But you know, on her birthday, the day before, halos nag-away kami yan. You tell her that. Bakit? Kasi I wanted her to take a break. Sabi ko, I'll check you in the hotel. Because if I don't check you in the hotel, I will check you in the hospital. H-10. Hotel. Hospital. Magkakasakit ka. Ayaw. O sige, let's do this. Ayaw. O sige, let's do this. Ayaw. And medyo na-irita na ako eh. If you haven't figured it out by now, I'm very expressive with how I love. And so, nainis na ako. Ano ba? Ayaw. Hindi, kasi kailangan mo ka muna. Put my foot down. She said, kung gano'n ayoko na. Hello? Meron bang umaayos sa sariling birthday? How could you even reject your own birthday? It's in the calendar. So I said, okay, deal. Go do your hospital duties and do your thing, and then I'll pick you up. No. We'll do lunch the day before. That's what we did. She's happy. Others first. Why? Not first. You last. What did we say? Kaya iba sa atin dito, walang sense yung success or failures natin. Yung troubles and promotions natin are short-lived, yung promotions, because we inverted it. I know what you're saying. Yodge, yung proportion. In-invert talaga eh. Joy, yun. Talino mo, di nga. Don't mess it up. It's that way. The Church of Macedonia was the most effective church in the movement of Christianity in the early church. Not because they had so much, but because they knew where everything came from. And it was best invested in God first, others second, and you last. Think about it. Kasi kung puro ikaw lang, ubus ka agad din. Sandali na. If you're in a relationship, and it's all about you, it's not going to last long. If you're in church, it's all about you, it's not going to last long. When was the last time? Ask you this? I have to ask myself that. When was the last time you took you and said to God, God, I start my day, let me serve you first. And say, God, I want to help somebody else. God, I want to do your cause. God, I want you to take your disappointment go or success, and that be given to you. Think about it. Are you a Corinthian church or a Macedonian church? Pastor, I'm in between. That doesn't count. Jesus, others. Father, we come before you this morning. Thanking you and praising you for the privilege to share your word, to learn, Lord, from the early church of Macedonia. Sometimes, Lord, nalilibang po kami with thinking. Kailangan para masaya, ma-fulfill ito, mabigay ito, maabot ito. To be happy, we need to accomplish this and have this and do that and have this position. Help us to realize today that it's first all about you. Are you happy with what we're doing now? It's all about you. Second, Lord. Second, Lord. How can we serve others? Lord, pakibukas niyo po yung mata namin. reach out to other people, to step out of our shoes and to walk in their shoes. Help us to invest our life in something greater than us. And Lord, your will cause namin Panginoon. We could be down to the last cup of coffee when it's shared with someone. Lord, it becomes two. We could be down to our last peso. When shared with someone, it takes the value of 2 pesos. Real principle time. Help us to serve you, to be faithful to you first. And our faithfulness to you, Lord, serve others with you. And with whatever's left, Lord, whatever's left of our strength, of our time, of our resources, of our monies, Lord, yun ang naiwan para sa amin. And then make that bigger. Because Lord, nothing ever invested in your cause ever fails. Wala pong ibinibigay, Panginoon, sa iyo kosa ang simpleng nauubos lang, Panginoon. Ito yung pinararami mo, Panginoon. So we can invest it again and again. So Lord God, please, that should help us to do that. Help us, Lord, to do that. And we will praise you, Lord, for them. As we leave this church, help us to remember the source of joy first. And know what you want us to do. And we will praise you. In the name we pray.